Hey, my name is Jabari, and this is 10 Minutes to $10,000, a series where we speak to finance and business content creators about how they saved and invested their first $10,000. Today, we're going to be speaking to Kenneth, otherwise known as Trade, Invest, Simplify. We're going to be talking about how he made his first 10,000, his struggles getting there, what he did with the money, and some advice that he has for you about how you can get to that first $10,000. So, without further ado, let's get to it. So, what age were you when you got your first 10K or when you made your first 10K?
Through investing?
It doesn't matter. So, whether or not you saved it like through a job or through
Gotcha.
trading, if that's what you want to talk about.
So it was kind of a slow process for me. I
Mhm.
I lived in a big building in Washington D.C. where I'm from,
Okay.
and when I was a little kid, I was always putting up signs like, I'll take care of your cats if you're going out on vacation, or if it's snowing, I'll shovel your car, like just little jobs.
Yeah.
So I just put all that money into savings back then. That's what I really did.
Mhm.
And then when I graduated high school, all my friends were getting Apple related gifts, like computers, iPods, iTunes
Yeah.
accounts. And it's a much longer story, but basically I was like, I got to invest in this company. And
Mhm.
I took I think it was like $3,000 that I had saved over a lifetime of like cat sitting,
Yeah.
put it into Apple stock. I called up a broker and I was like, I want stock in Apple.
Mhm.
And it's a much longer story. Like there's a whole back and forth where he like tried to talk me out of it. And he was like,
Yeah.
he
Yeah. I
wants,
saw some of those TikToks. Yeah.
yeah, you've seen him. But I ended up getting 100 shares in Apple, and like it went up to 225 before the
Mhm.
recession in '08. Then
Mhm.
it tanked. That's of course when I sold it. I sold it at like $69. But that was my basically like my first 10K.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
my profit from Apple was like $6,000.
Oh,
I
nice.
got
Yeah,
back
that's really good.
what I put into it, which was like 3,000.
Mhm.
So that's almost 10,000.
Okay, nice. And then, so basically the jobs that you had were just like little small side hustles that you were doing in college, cat sitting. What else did you say?
Yeah, cat sitting, helping like a lot of elderly people in the building, and like they're like,
Yeah.
oh, I need help lifting this thing or bringing up this big package,
Mhm.
shoveling cars, stuff like that. But I didn't actually go to college. I
Okay, cool.
was right from like from when I was a little kid to like 18, and then I
Yeah.
worked in the restaurant industry.
Okay,
Um,
cool. So when you finally got that 10K, what'd you do after that? Like, what'd you do with that money? Did you ever go below that?
do you mean like did I ever lose?
Yeah, did you ever lose it? Like, once your net worth basically hit 10K, did you ever lose any amount of it, or like, did you like just start like spending it?
No, I didn't spend it. I was very I'm personally very conservative with my money. I live like
Yeah.
way below my means. I'm a minimalist, except for like those, that stuff behind me. But I'm of the mindset like I didn't go to college, so I don't have a fancy job I can fall back on.
Mhm.
Everything that I was doing was minimum wage jobs, like working in the restaurant, front desk at a gym, and I was afraid of going back to that. So
Mhm.
for me, it was like I have to take this. This is lucky. Like this money that I made from Apple is bonus money. I have to really
Yeah.
not be stupid with it. So I kept it in savings. I invested it in other companies during the recession. So I got that money from Apple, and then I
Mhm.
was like, I have to be smart with this. So I
Yeah.
bought stock in Caterpillar, Toyota. I made some other investments with that money. So tried to grow it as best I could. I didn't want to be risky. I didn't want to be
Okay.
stupid. You know,
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you're swing trading now, right?
yeah.
So when you got that 10K, did you start swing trading or did you just do long-term investments primarily?
No, I was working in like the restaurant industry and the fitness industry probably by that point. And I was living at home, so everything that I was making, even though it was minimum wage jobs, so it
Yeah.
wasn't like a lot of money, but it was in a way because I wasn't spending it on rent. So it
Yeah.
was just going right into savings, right into savings. So when it was time for me to start swing trading, I had already built up like a pretty sizable amount of money in
Okay,
savings.
nice.
And then I started really small with my swing trades. I was nervous
Yeah.
because I knew like if I blow it all on some big stupid trade, I'm screwed.
Okay.
Uh, so for me, I just was trading with a very small amount.
Got it. So for you, basically, when you got the 10K, it wasn't from trading. You got it all from, well, first from that initial lump sum of literally just like small side hustle jobs in high school.
Right.
And then you got a pretty decent growth investing in Apple, probably, you know, just before the crash and then after the
Yeah.
crash, but you still made a decent profit.
Yeah, and you have to say it just because if I had kept that 100 shares of Apple and I hadn't sold, it would be worth several million today.
Yeah.
So that's when you for anyone who's watching, I'm not complaining. You know,
Yeah.
obviously it sucks, but for anyone who's watching, when you are committed to a stock that you really like, that's the benefit of a long-term buy and hold investment.
Yeah.
It's over 20 years.
Yeah, especially because, and so for those, anyone that's watching this, by the way, so for anyone that knows, basically when you bought it at, or you sold at 69, that was before the stock split, right?
They had like one split in between 2003 and 2008.
Yeah, but not before they had a stock split. Was that 2019 or 2020 that they did stock split?
Yeah, they've had a couple over the last few years.
Okay, yeah, so that, yeah, it would have been, yeah, you would have had a massive.
Oh, I would have had maybe 1,000 shares or more, probably.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, it's definitely cool to hear that. I mean, I think a lot of people won't realize that is the fact that a lot of people, when they get to that first, you know, initial level of like 10K or whatever, realistically 10K, it's not just from, you know, whatever position everyone is in now, right? I know that once I probably speak to Dr. Brad and Kelechi and everyone, pretty much like no one would have gotten their first initial investment from where they are now. Right. I think that's like a lot of confusion with a lot of people is like, it's like, oh, well, you have this job or you have this. So like, that's how you got that money.
Yeah.
But for you, you're just saying like literally it's from literally side hustles and then investing. Okay, cool. I mean, again, so I'm trying to keep this like short. It's like literally 10 minutes. I'm going to ask like 2 more questions. Do you have any advice? This is like second to last question, but do you have any advice for someone that's like trying to just like reach that 10K goal? You know, maybe they're in the same position as you. Like, what would you have done maybe differently?
What I would have done differently is not sell Apple.
Yeah.
I mean, really, like when you find a stock, or like I'm not talking about, you know, like Dogecoin or AMC or GameStop, but like when you make a long-term investment, really buy it and forget all about it. Especially if you're younger, don't worry about, oh, there's a recession, a housing crisis, whatever's going on, forget it. Just buy it and hold it as long as you can.
Yeah.
And not to get greedy and be like, whoa, I've made 5,000 or I've made 8,000. If it's a long-term investment, you buy it, you hold it.
Yeah.
That's what I would have done differently. And then I would just say, don't try to get so caught up in all these hype stocks, you know, like the Dogecoins and the GameStops, or NFTs right now. I have a lot of friends who are just throwing tons of money into this, just like, oh, please let me get rich. And, you know,
get rich quick. Yeah.
Get rich quick. Yeah. That would be my caution, is try not to do that.
Okay,
you know,
cool.
If you want to put some money in, put a little in, but only what you're willing to lose.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. I try to tell people that all the time. The thing I try to tell people is what amount of money, if you dropped it on the street and then you literally just like lost it that day, would you not be worried about? That's how much you could put in.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then the last question, and you can ignore Dr. Brad and Kelechi for this, but is there anyone you would recommend I speak to next just to have them on the series?
Yeah, actually a lot of people.
Okay, cool.
Basically everyone. Actually, I like the idea of the series a lot. I've gotten like some slack on TikTok for people going like, why don't you follow a lot of people? The reason I don't follow a lot of people is because, and you're one of the people I do follow, is because I want my follow list to be like a resource for people.
Yeah.
If I'm following 5,000 people, who cares? Like, you're never going to go through that. But I'm following like 108. And like we talked about before we started recording, a lot of it's food related because I like food. But I would go through my follow list on TikTok and see who I follow. Wendio would be super interesting. I don't know if you follow Crypto Wendio.
Yeah.
I would love to hear hers. Seth Godwin.
I follow. Yeah, Seth follows me back. So yeah.
I would love to hear his too. There's a lot of people that I think would be really interesting.
Okay, cool.
And new traders too.
Okay, cool. All right, yeah. So that was a great interview. If you guys want to follow Kenneth, you can follow him on TikTok at Trade Invest Simplify, or you can follow him on YouTube. And lastly, if you guys would like to see more of these videos, don't forget to follow and subscribe. Can't wait to see you guys next time.